Hey, what's up again, my fellow collectors? This is Chris coming from my channel I Am Toys. This is the Hot Toys Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 Yondu. This came out about 3 days ago in Hong Kong. If you're a Guardians of the Galaxy fan, you've definitely been waiting for this figure. It is definitely up there with some of Hot Toys' best work. I don't know what it is about Hot Toys, but when it comes to African American individuals and characters that are alien-like and have different color faces, they are able to knock them out of the park. And we'll touch on that more later on. But they just, I don't know, for some reason they are able to just, I don't know, they hit home runs when it comes to this. So we're going to get into the review, and I'll show you the accessories. This is the Deluxe edition. Make sure you hit that 4K option on your browser now so you get to watch this video in all its glory. And I'll show you this guy next to Star-Lord, and maybe do some side-by-side shots of him. And I'll have some photos up my Instagram of this hopefully by tomorrow morning. And the video soon. If you're watching it, obviously I was able to get it up. Don't take that, what I said, the wrong way. There might be some kind of sexual connotation associated with that. So let's just pretend I didn't say that, and we'll move on to a close-up of the head sculpt, and we'll do what we do. Alright, so there's a close-up of that head sculpt. They did a phenomenal job. So like I said, I don't know what it is with Hot Toys, man, but like I mentioned, when it comes to aliens, African-American characters, different colored skin, especially when it comes to aliens, like Gamora, they hit that sculpt out of the park. Wesley Snipes, they hit that sculpt out of the park, the second version for Blade 2. It's a really awesome likeness to Wesley. Black Panther looks like the new clean sculpt that they're coming out with. Looks pretty spot on to the actor. What else? Thanos looks, you know, like a home run as well. So I don't know what it is, man. They've got such a tough time, or they've had such a tough time hitting the likeness of someone like Mark Hamill and a younger Harrison Ford. But yeah, when it comes to these alien characters, or again, African American, and some of their Asian line as well, they obviously they kill it, man. They really do. And this sculpt, you know, is definitely at the 9.5 region of a 10. It's really good. Definitely really good. Anybody that says that doesn't look like Michael Rooker from the film is a nut, because that is one killer likeness. And those of you who don't remember, well, not remember, but if you only know Yondu from the movie, then you're not really getting the accurate story. It was actually him and I think 3 other people that actually founded the Guardians of the Galaxy. It wasn't Star-Lord, you know, or any of those guys. And they didn't come onto the team until much later in the comics, from what I understand, or at least from what I remember. I think Yondu was, or Yondu, yeah, kind of merging the first and last name. Yondu was from Earth, I want to say 691 or something like that. And he was part of, like, I think some kind of tribe, and they were like mystics. And, you know, he didn't have any powers, you know, just like the film. He's like kind of a hunter, I believe, if I remember correctly. I think their race was called, the Centurions or Centaurian? No, Centaurians. Not to be confused with the Centurions. The popular cartoon from the late, maybe 80s, 90s. Big fan of that as well, because of my age. I tell you, cartoons today, man, they're terrible. But yeah, that's about as much as I can remember. So those of you who think that he was just part of that kind of rag and tag gang, the Ravagers or whatever the hell they were calling themselves in the film, no, he was actually one of the 3 other people, one of the 4 that founded the Guardians of the Galaxy. So just some little tidbits for you. So the overall detail is awesome on the outfit. It's, you know, there's a lot going on. It's really busy, and with some proper futzing and make it look a little bit better. You know, his suit was kind of a mess. His outfit was kind of a mess in the comics, or not in the comics, but in the movie. So, kind of follows suit. The detail's really good. The weathering's good. The patterning is excellent as well. The boots are sculpted, unfortunately. I think I was feeling them earlier. I don't think they're a leather material. I think they're all pretty much just sculpted. You can futz around with the feet more so they don't look as behemoth-like. But overall, there's a very good detail. And they paid some good attention to said detail. Love the badge on there. Nice little attention to the minute details on that. It's not like it's rocket science what they did there, but still appreciate the little things. And I love that they attach this accessory. You know, you get the fire effect. Well, not really fire. It's like more like a this like wave effect or energy effect that it gives off when he uses it. And again, futzing around with it, you can make it look a lot better than how I have it. When I do pictures later, I'll definitely improve that. So let me turn this guy around, show you the back of him, and show you the detail on that as well. All right, so here's the back of the back of the video, back of the figure, like I promised. Good detail. I don't know if I said this before, but you know the detail that they're able to accomplish on the tailoring. As far as some recent Hot Toys figures, past, present. You know, even older. This is definitely some of the better tailoring that I've seen on the figures that they have put out, especially when it comes to the Guardians of the Galaxy line. It's just really good. I think they do a terrific job, especially on the weathering and just the patching and just everything in general. It's really good. I give them an A+, man. Somebody out there really loves the Guardians of the Galaxy line, man, because they definitely put some love into it, and you can tell. So it's really good. And I'm going to have him and Star-Lord side by side later, and some comparison shots. Not really comparison shots, just kind of show you the dynamic of both figures standing together. And you know, we'll go from there. So now I was going to do accessories, but I'm going to show you a couple things with the head sculpt. You know, taking off the fin, putting the other one back on. You know, kind of how to place the arrow and the afterglow effect, and we'll you know, we'll go from there. So hope I gave you enough of the rear view of the figure and panned around it enough for you as well. And we shall see you on the other side. Alright, so one of the first things I'm going to show you is you know, removing the flatter fin and then putting on the elevated portion. This is really easy. Take it off. It's magnetized. It's not as a pain in the arse as the Spider-Man and the Deadpool eyes, which is really not, it can theoretically not be a pain in the butt either if you actually use a magnet. I see people getting creative with tape around their finger and all kinds of silly stuff. Just find a magnet of some kind, small, and that will cure all your woes. And there you go. That's the main fin. And I'm probably going to keep that on them. I think that looks killer. It's a nice look. I'll rotate them around this side for you as well. And then give you a shot from the front. Killer likeness is just, it's really great. So, also, I'll show you one other thing. I'm actually going to move the camera down and show you the knife insert, which is easy as well. It's nothing crazy or rocket science. So let's demo that for you, get it out of the way. So, may lose focus here for a second, but don't worry, I'll correct it. Alright, so this is where the knife goes. It's really not hard as well. You basically just pull it out, and it doesn't come in there. You have to take it out of the box. Obviously, it doesn't come holstered. So you take it out and you just shove it right up in there as I drop it on the ground. But anyway, you get the idea. So alright, let's get to some articulation, and then we'll do accessories and go do some side-by-side shots of Yondu with Star-Lord. Alright, so here before we get into articulation, here he is without the jacket on, so this is him jacketless, so you get to kind of see that look. I do have the exclusive. If I have time, I'm going to put the rocket pack on him, and we'll show you a look with him wearing that. But first, let's get into the articulation of the figure. I was messing around with it a little bit prior. I noticed some of the joints are a little, not stiff, but the pants are a little bit restrictive. So we will see what happens. I mean, obviously the head, you get a pretty good back, you know, and forward motion. I'll show you that from the side. It's pretty good as that comes off. You get about right there, and you get about right there if you want to go back. Obviously you can go around left to right 360. The arms will go up to about there literally and stop, and there's no resistance from the clothing that way, but there is resistance in the arms when you are going up this way. You start to get a little bit of resistance there, but you do get a pretty good bend there. Once it starts to pull, for me, I don't try to go any farther. Some people like to get brave and really bend their figures out. Once it starts pulling on stuff, I try not to, because you never know what's going to get yanked out like this or bust. I try not to push it any farther unless I'm really paying attention to what the hell I'm doing, and I'm definitely not going to do that on camera and articulating this thing for the first time, so or the second time. First time was kind of a preliminary mess around with, so definitely good to be careful. You get the general articulation with the hands. Obviously you can move the pivot joint, the ball joint, take it out, move it, so you can get more extension that way or this way. You know, it's up to you. So the outfit itself is not removable. It says it in the instructions, even though I do see parts of the outfit that look like it could be removed, but Hot Toys says in the instruction booklet that it is not removable. So I guess don't try to remove it, folks. Now leg wise, this is where your articulation gets a little bit restricted. Your leg going up, man, like that's it, dude, right there, and I'm getting a lot of pull from either the joint and maybe the clothing, I'm not sure. But that's about it, man. I'm getting a lot of resistance right there. Maybe if I have time, I'll try to go at it a little bit more, but I'm not going to risk trying to damage this. You get a good extension backwards with the leg that way. You can go back even farther, so you do have good articulation there. Decent articulation on the foot all the way around. You get some to that way, to that, to left, right, back, front. Not bad. You always got to adjust this when you're articulating the feet so you don't expose the pivot joint. Obviously, the same goes for this side. You know, unfortunately, again, you know, you don't get that much really forward motion. That's about it, man. Those of you who get it, you want to push it farther, try. But I can feel the tightness up in here, so I'm not messing with him. I'm not getting too crazy. So, not that you're going to be doing any splits with this guy, but right there is where I'd probably leave it. Probably not trying to go any farther than that, to tell you the truth. And honestly, I don't think it goes any farther. So, don't do anything dumb, fellas. Alright, so that's really about it as far as articulation. Actually, you know what? We'll do some abduction and adduction. Why not? So you can go to about right there. At least that's what I'm comfortable with right now. And back, ooh, a lot more. About right there. Maybe even more, but I don't know why the hell anybody would want to be going back that much farther. Anyway. So, yeah, I think that's really about it as far as articulation, man. So, we are going to get to the accessories next, and actually I'm going to begin that by showing you kind of how to pose and move the arrow, and it'd be great if we had a whistling face, you know, to play with that, but unfortunately we don't. So I'm just going to show you that real quick, and we shall move on to the overall accessory presentation. Okay, so you know, putting the arrow in and the flare effect is pretty darn easy. So what you have over here obviously is almost like a gun holster per se, but you know, it's obviously for the arrow. So it's very simple. You know, as you can see, hopefully this is coming in focus, this part attaches in there like that. Same thing for this piece down. And then you just basically tuck it in right in here. Just like that. Who knows, I could possibly be doing this wrong, but this is how I perceived that you were supposed to be doing it. And then you can kind of arch that over this way. And it is mandible, so if you need to bend this back, you can. And unfortunately it doesn't stay when you do it, you know, so how you see it how I have it that way, eventually it will start to, you know, go down and rest. With this jacket you can kind of use the arrows on the shoulder to kind of use it as a pivot point or a support point as well. But you can get some pretty neat poses with this, and if you want to Photoshop you can, you know, do it that way. But you know, it's pretty mandible and pliable. Just be careful you don't break it. And that's really about it with that. And I'll show you the accessories next, and we will keep this puppy moving, right? Alright, so for the rest of the accessories, we'll go through these one at a time. So here's this little fucker right here, Groot. Little cute bastard. So anyway, yeah, you get this, and you get to get it. Basically mimics that scene where he's stretching out his hands to. Yeah, I can't even remember now. Damn, dude, I can't even remember now what part of the scene this is. That I can't remember if he's in or out of the cage or what the hell he was doing. He was freaking out about something. Of course, now I'm drawing a blank. But anyway, as you can see, the detail on him is good. I like what they've added. The previous Groot, I don't think, had the green growths at the top of his head yet. At least the one that came with Star-Lord. I'm pretty sure it didn't. So that's something kind of new that they added. And obviously he's clothed. And this one's got his little mini Ravager outfit on, which is awesome. And I'll show you him in the cage as well and show you what he looks like. But pretty good detail, man. You know, he's small as hell, and you know they pack in a pretty decent amount of detail on this little guy. So let's move on to the next. You know what I'll do? I'll show you guys the hands real quick. Usually that's what I do first before I get into some more of the more significant accessories. So as you stare at the table, let's go through some of these. So here's one of the first hands. As you can see, the paint application is pretty good. See all those little veins, even in the blue skin, how they curve them out. That's pretty sweet. And you get a bunch of them. A bunch of alternate open and closed gripped hands. Really nice detail on the on that hand. I love how those little veins stick out like that. That's really cool. More. And what I'll do to make this actually go even a little bit faster is just put them all in one hand, right? Probably like Chris, just fucking do that, man. It's a lot easier. So here's the rest of them. There goes one. Anyway, yeah, as you can see, the detail is good on them. Really good. And you can pull off multiple poses. Use your imagination. Here's the jetpack that you get with this, with him. I don't remember this piece right here coming on the version that Star-Lord had. So this might be something specific to the Ravager version. I'm not sure. I couldn't really tell you right now, but it goes on the same way, attaches the same way that Star-Lord's does. Pretty much just pop these out, pop that out, and then you just put it together. I'll probably show you one shot of him with this thing on. I probably won't be using it. Probably not going to sell it either, you know, because you never know when you might want to achieve that pose or have that look, so I'll stick with it for now. But as you can see, the detail is really cool, man. I love all the little nuances here, man, that they have. The rivets and the patterning in there, that's really cool, man. That's really killer. So, I'm impressed. But I don't know what it is about. Maybe they just love. Maybe Hot Toys has a little spot in their heart for the Guardians of the Galaxy line, because a lot of the figures that have come out for this series have been pretty amazing. So here's the cage. that comes with it. Cage little baby Groot in there. Opens up simply just like that. And closes. So just be careful, because it does feel like a little bit of a flimsy plastic. And we'll throw a little Groot in there just for the hell of it. Alright, you little bastard. Get in there. And he does come with a stand. It's a little black stand. But for now, we're just going to improvise. Let's see. Get him to sit right. I also don't want to break his damn hand. So as I fuddle around with this. But anyway, I'm just going to leave him like this for now. But you get the idea. And you can close it on him. And there you go. You've trapped our little buddy inside the cage. That's pretty cool. I mean, for an accessory, for an exclusive, I guess it's okay. You know, I think that's a pretty cool addition that they added that. And you don't really need the stand inside for him to be able to stand, which is pretty cool. Him to be able to stand stable, it's pretty good because his hands kind of rest up on the cage itself. So you're able to kind of keep him in there and have him hold the have a pose where he's holding the cage and whatnot. So it's pretty cool. And then the final exclusive accessory that comes with this guy is Rocket's blaster. Now I don't have Rocket, so I may actually flip this. So if any of you do have the Guardians of the Galaxy Rocket, you know, let me know, and maybe I'll throw it off to you. I'm not sure what price. Exclusive accessories kind of differ in price from the standard accessories when you part them out. So I'm not really sure what I would put this at yet. I'd kind of have to do some research and consult some buddies and see what I would want to bang this out for. But the detail on it's awesome. I may actually keep it though. I don't know. I may not use it for Rocket. Maybe I'll use it for someone else. But the grips are kind of small. It's kind of meant for him. I don't know. Maybe I'll give it to put it in one of my 6-inch or 7-inch figure version of Chucky. Yeah, no, wouldn't make any friggin' sense, right? But detail on it's awesome. Just not going to use it. And this is the alternate fin that you get. Had it on them first, so you saw this earlier in the video. It's also magnetized, and this is pretty cool. I like that they added some decent detail in there. That's pretty cool. Not just, I mean, they could have easily cheesed out and just put a magnet in there and said screw it, but they actually, that's cool. They added detail inside. That's cool. Hot Toys, as much as some people, we like to trash them every once in a while. Sorry about that out of focus shot. They do pay attention to detail where it's needed. Sometimes, not all the time, but I think often enough. And here's the you get 2 rods or 2 arrows, obviously. One without the effect attached, and then one with. As you can see, awesome detail on this as well. I don't know if that patterning is coming in through right here. That's really good. Alright, and this I kind of showed you already, but I'll show it to you again. So this is the one with the effect. You see it's attached. This part doesn't come off, so don't try it. And as you can see, the tip is different on this one. But also very good detail. You know, and like I said, it's pliable, not exactly right at this joint, but here is pretty good, as you can see. You know, you can do what you want to do with it, right? So, like I said, it doesn't hold the pose. You have to really mess around with it and repose it if you're trying to take pictures, but it's not that much of a pain in the ass. So, all right, and that's really about it as far as the accessories, guys. So let's move on to some different looks, and I'll break out Star-Lord and show you some shots of that as well. Okay, so I lied. Except I wasn't going to show you some looks first. I actually wanted to pull the head off first and kind of give you some close-up looks of this as well before I did that, just to kind of show you the detail on the head and what a great job they did. I mean, look at that, from the scarring. It's really, really good. They did a dynamite job on this. It's Michael Rooker to a T, man. And like I always say, there's a difference when you're rating sculpts. I rate sculpts based on likeness. You see a little bit of the casting right there. That's okay though. The veining is really good. You even get it down into the neck as well. But anyway, like I say, when I rate sculpts, it's based on likeness. You know, people are trying to, you know, if you're giving a sculpt a 10, I give it a 10 based on whether or not does it look like the person, you know, through and through when you look at it. Is there is there any trepidation that maybe, hey, it could look like someone else? Like with the Luke Skywalker I just reviewed, about a 7.5 to an 8, because when you do look at it from certain angles, you know, I'm not totally sold on them. But with this, you know, it's a 9.5, man, to a 10. I mean, there's no doubt, you know, in anyone's mind, unless you're just hating on the figure or just hating on the movie itself and not a fan. But that's Michael Rooker, man. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, you look at the detail that they captured in the eyes. It's incredible. Really incredible. So I just wanted to give you guys a nice little close-up of that sculpt. And just kind of appreciate it more than that kind of pan from side to side that I showed you. It's just really, really great. Alright, so now let's move on to some looks. Alright, so here's a quick look of the Jetpack on him. It's a little bit crooked, partly because I was a little bit sloppy with putting it on, but secondary to an issue that I'm noticing with putting it on. Now, in the instruction booklet, you know, it has, you know, you're supposed to put this on. You can put it on with the jacket on, obviously, because this is supposed to mirror, you know, the scene from the film, and I believe he also had the jacket on. So, but the problem that I'm finding is, I mean, obviously it's going to be easier to put this on without the jacket on, but I don't know if he ever had it on in the film without the sleeveless trench on. So you have to go back and look, and if you want to recreate that look, or just do it anyway. It doesn't matter. Just because it's not in the film, it's not screen accurate. Who gives a shit? You know, I really hate, you know, when people do that. You know, you'll post something and people will be like, hey, that's not screen accurate, man. I'm like, oh, guess what? I really don't give a shit. It's what I wanted to do with the figure. But anyway, this piece right here, right? Now, I don't know if this is, maybe I'm missing something, but these arrows that are on his shoulder aren't detachable. They don't come off. So, and Hot Toys was slick on how they showed putting this on, because they really didn't show it how this is sitting on this side, because technically this is going to cover this, and because of how tight it kind of sits, it's going to break those. Even if it doesn't, it's going to put a decent enough amount of stress on it that it probably will bend or break. So Hot Toys, you were definitely sneaky with how you showed putting this on in the instruction booklet, because you didn't show really clearly how this actually sits on the shoulder and actually is supposed to cover this. So you can take this off, and that will basically, you know, alleviate that concern. But I believe he didn't have this off in the film when he had it on. And in the Hot Toys instruction manual, he is also still wearing this as well, I believe. So if you guys want to bear with me a second, I'll show you what I'm talking about. So let's see here. All right, where are we at? And yes, he does actually still have it on. But see, now this is weird. So as you can see, they show it going on over his body with that little harness strap on the jacket still. But when you come over here, you don't get a shot of the right shoulder and how it's sitting at all. But you can't really tell if it's actually on there or not, the harness piece of his straps. So, you know, I don't know. Maybe they took it off here. Maybe they didn't. I don't know. But they clearly show here that it can go over and the straps are on. And it doesn't say on here whether or not you should actually remove the strap piece, that shoulder piece, or not. And actually, come to think of it, I don't think you can, now that I'm looking at it. I think it's actually, because like I said earlier, the suit is non-detachable. The jacket is removable, but the suit is not. I mean, you can get it off if you want to, but this right here, I believe, is actually hooked onto the jacket. So I don't think you can actually remove it anyway. I mean, I could be wrong, but you know, I'm going to try and detach this, and while I'm on cam with you, and hopefully not break this friggin' thing while I'm doing it. Alright, so let's see here. And yes, it is attached on here. So it is attached to the jacket. You could probably bend the little plastic hooks right here somehow and get it out. I mean, they had to get it on there somehow, so there's probably a little space like there is on others when I've seen when they kind of do this. There's like a little separation. You could probably take that piece off. So I think this is removable. So if you really want to get that and sit it flush, I think you can take this off. Obviously, I don't think he did that in the movie, but he's obviously not an action figure. He wasn't an action figure yet. So, you know, you can get that off and they'll sit flush. You know, it's pretty much the point of this conversation. So that's that. And then what I'll do now is I'm going to break out. I'm not going to do too many poses. You know, I'll do a quick one with Star-Lord after this. But if you want to see poses and stuff and pics of this guy, just check my Instagram. Or if you're in the groups, you know, and you're in the 1/6 scale figure groups, you'll basically see the poses that I'll do with him. So, and you get some posing ideas from that, and a lot of other folks are going to have this in hand soon, and they'll be doing the same thing. So let's move on and put both of these guys side by side and continue the show. Alright guys, so this brings us to the end of the video. Like I said, I would have these two side by side. Last time I checked, it looks as if Yondu is actually completely waitlisted. As a few days ago, I could have sworn that the deluxe version was still up, and I believe it was. I was actually kind of surprised that he was still available, but he is officially been waitlisted, and I believe the regular version is gone, long gone as well. That was the first to go, obviously. It's the cheaper one. It's around $220 or $225. And you know, if it's the problem with these figures, man. Once they come out and people see the production pieces, they go quick. But if you jump on waitlist, and if you jumped on the waitlist pretty soon, then there's a chance that you might convert. Hot Toys tends to sometimes put out second batches, third batches, you know, to try and fulfill demand. They are a company. They want to make money just like everybody else. So, but then sometimes there's a cutoff and they don't make any more at all. So if you didn't pick up this figure, if you didn't have a chance and you're finding that it is waitlisted, there are obviously various retailers that you can go to, third party, that aren't official distributors, and you can still pick it up. So you just have to do some hunting, that's all. So overall, man, it's a great figure. As a set, you know, are the exclusives, accessories worth it? I would say yeah, I guess. I mean, I'm not going to do anything, like I said, with the Rocket Blaster, so you know, the sculpt for me, like I said, is 9.5 to a 10, man. That's Michael Rooker, you know, from the film for sure. The only other thing that would have jumped this up, you know, to the set to a perfect 10, because even the set itself I'm still going to give a 9.5, the exclusive anyway, and that's solely because there's no second head sculpt with a whistling look, and that would have been nice to have that. You know, Hot Toys doesn't always do the best with their second head sculpts, expressive sculpts, you know, and that's just unfortunately that's just the way it is. So maybe eventually they will. And this is the I know you guys, some of you who don't know, this is Star-Lord. This is the second version that came out, 2.0. I think it's an awesome figure. I actually got two of these so I could have this look and a clean look with nothing on. I like the helmet activation look on him. I think it's incredible. I think these two side by side look great, obviously, as well. And I think he's sold out too, so if you kind of didn't jump on him, the only thing you can kind of do is, you know, eBay aftermarket prices, which can be, you know, really really exponential sometimes. I think we all know that, but I really do love the sculpt on this. And of course, I also love the sculpt on this guy. It's really great. They did an incredible job. So if we had a whistling sculpt, that would have been awesome, and the whole set would have been a 10. But for now, you know, that's just the way it is. So if you like the video, please hit like on the video and subscribe if you like my channel. And if you have any questions, try to hit me up. I'll have more photos up of this guy over the coming days, and, you know, different poses. You know, if you guys want to steal them, go for it. And that's really about it, guys. And my daughter wants to say bye, and if I don't let her, she's going to kick my butt. So here she is. Go ahead out there, little baby girl.
Bye.
And, I was going to try and put her face in focus as she said bye, but she ran away quick. So, uh-oh, all right, she's coming back again. You got to actually stop where you are. There she is. All right, yep, that's my crazy little girl. All right, guys. Hope you.
Say my last name.
Oh, don't worry, I won't tell people your nickname. All right, so anyway, that's it, guys. So enjoy the video, like, subscribe, and now that you're interrupting, I'm definitely going to tell everybody. I call her nickname is Poppy Property. Deuces, folks, deuces.